Hi everyone! So today, continuing on my journey through Mark Bittman's How to Bake Everything, we're going to make Southern cornbread. So he talks about in his book that there's basically kind of two sides when it comes to cornbread. Some people like a more savory version that goes with your, dinner or supper, and others tend to like a sweeter version. So this one that I'm making today, Southern cornbread, is more of the first, more of something as a savory cornbread that's an accompaniment for a meal like supper. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make the cornbread and then actually eat it with our supper tonight. We're going to have shepherd's pie for supper, and we're going to have the cornbread along with it. I'm going to make some changes for high altitude, and I'm going to use some ground flaxseed to replace the eggs. So let's look at the ingredients we're going to use. The ingredients we're going to use for Southern cornbread is flour, some olive oil, salt, cornmeal, baking soda, ground flaxseed meal, and some buttermilk. And I gotta tell you guys, I don't buy buttermilk. Whenever a recipe calls for buttermilk, I just mix a tablespoon of vinegar for every cup of milk, or every cup of buttermilk that I need. So this is a cup and a half of milk mixed with a tablespoon and a half of vinegar. And I also have my oven preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I have a 9-inch square pan greased on the bottom with some cooking spray. We've got some dry ingredients here. We've got flour, cornmeal, baking soda, which I decreased from a teaspoon down to a half a teaspoon, and some salt. So I'm just going to stir that together just to combine it. And then the next thing he tells us to do is actually to whisk the egg into the buttermilk. Well, my egg is the ground flaxseed mixed with water, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to put that in with the buttermilk. I'm just going to use a fork here and whisk that together just to get it combined a bit. And then we're going to pour the buttermilk mixture into the dry. I'm actually not going to pour it all in because I kind of want to see what the consistency is here. Because I found sometimes with liquid and dry measurements and things like this that you get too much liquid. I'm going to put in a little bit more. And I did increase the buttermilk mixture up to a cup and a half from a cup and a quarter. So now I'm kind of wondering if I needed to do that or not. But the reason that we increase liquid is because water evaporates faster at higher altitudes. And you don't necessarily want that when something's baking. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put it all in. Just because I would hate for it to not come out well when I adjusted it for high altitude because of something like that. So we're mixing that in. And then it says to add either melted butter or olive oil, 2 tablespoons. So that's going to go in. 1, 2. I'm just going to mix that just until it's incorporated. And then we're going to put this in the pan and bake it for, I think, about 25 to 30 minutes. And a toothpick in the center should come out clean when it's done. And we'll see. All right, so it's only been in the oven for about 20 minutes. It's not really that brown on top, but it is pulled away from the edges. I'm going to do the toothpick test here. And that looks pretty clean. So we're going to pull it out. Sometimes when there's not egg in something, it doesn't brown up. I found like it does when there is. So that might be why we're not seeing as brown of a color on the top. But I would say it's definitely done. It's, again, pulled away from the edges, slightly browned on the sides at least, and that toothpick came out clean. All right, so I started cutting into it. Feels good. I'm going to do like 9 pieces. one of those out. It's going to come out fine. And there it is. Looks good. Again, it's got that ground flaxseed in it, so that's what you're seeing there, some of those darker specks that are in the cornbread. So we're going to eat that with some shepherd's pie that I made for supper and see how it tastes. So we've added some butter and honey to our cornbread in some different ways, as you can see there. And along we've got, again, shepherd's pie that we're eating along with it. I've tasted it alone. It's, again, there's no sugar in it, so it's not sweet at all. So if that's what you're used to with cornbread, this will be different. But I did add some butter and honey to mine, as did the kids. How's it taste?
Good.
Good? With the butter and honey?
Yeah.
Good. Probably, would you not want to eat it by itself like that? Without butter and honey?
Yeah, I think it tastes too plain by itself.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely needs the honey.
All right. Well, I think it turned out great. It baked up great with the adjustments that we made and using the ground flaxseed. Maybe it didn't rise quite as high as a cornbread would with egg, but I think it turned out great. It's not too dense or anything like that. So this is the Southern cornbread from How to Bake Everything. We're going to try next on the next video. I believe it's called Rich and Sweet Cornbread. I think that's the right name. And of course, that's the one that's more cakey and has sugar and I think more egg in it to give it a richer flavor. So we'll definitely be able to compare the two after we do that one. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.